You've been told that your acid reflux is caused by excess stomach acid. That's not what's happening. The real problem is a weak barrier. And once you understand this, everything about how you treat your acid reflux changes. I'm Molly Pelletier, a registered dietitian specializing in GERD, LPR, and all things reflux. And I have been where you are. I struggled with reflux for over a decade. I remember the 2 a.m. Googling, cutting out food after food, and even falling astray to some pseudoscience on the internet that told me to take acid supplementation, which further worsened my reflux symptoms. I remember the moment it clicked for me that my reflux wasn't being driven by too much or too little stomach acid, but rather a weak lower esophageal sphincter that wasn't keeping acid and stomach contents where it belongs. Understanding this and why that system stops working is key to healing. So let's talk about what's actually going on. Right at the base of your esophagus in the top of your stomach is this little area called the lower esophageal junction. Your lower esophageal sphincter and your diaphragm together both work to keep stomach contents locked into your stomach. When it's functioning well, your stomach contents remain in your stomach after a meal. And when it's not functioning well, that's when you get this reflux into the esophagus. The regurgitation, the lump in your throat, burning, feeling like something is stuck in your esophagus, coughing post-nasal drip, heartburn. These are all familiar symptoms of acid reflux. Now, here's where most people go wrong, and most doctors go wrong, treating acid reflux like it's an acid problem. When you go to the doctor for acid reflux, you're given a proton pump inhibitor or an H2 blocker to reduce acid. But oftentimes the issue isn't too much acid. It's the fact that your LES is not keeping things where it belongs. So now the real question is not what can you do to reduce acid, but how can you support your LES barrier? There are 3 major root causes that impact the function of the LES, and most people have never heard of them. Number 1, your diaphragm. Your diaphragm is a dome-shaped muscle that sits on top of the stomach in the lower esophageal junction. And here's the thing that most people don't realize. It wraps directly around your LES. So when your diaphragm contracts, it actually helps to squeeze and tone the lower esophageal sphincter, helping to keep food contents in your stomach. But here is the problem. Most of us are actually chronic chest breathers. We breathe shallow up in our chest all day long, and we're not using our diaphragm, which leads to a tight and weak diaphragm muscle. This also leaves less support for your LES. This isn't a theory. A randomized controlled trial published by the American Journal of Gastroenterology, Holland and colleagues in 2021 found that diaphragmatic breathing significantly helped to increase LES pressure and reduce post-meal reflux events. During deep belly breathing, LES pressure went from 23 to over 42 millimeters of mercury. This caused reflux events to drop dramatically from an average of 2.6 episodes to 1. It's not a supplement, it's not magic, it's just working with your physiology. If you're finding this helpful, do me a favor and hit subscribe. I put out new videos every single week to help you take control of your reflux symptoms and live your fullest life. Root contributor number 2 that contributes to a weak LES is your nervous system. Your LES doesn't work in isolation. It is actually controlled by your autonomic nervous system. It is also coordinated by something called the vagus nerve, which is one of the longest nerves in your body. The vagus nerve tells your LES when to open and when to close. When you're in a relaxed state, we call this rest and digest, because this is when your body can optimally digest your food, support motility through the digestive system, and this is where your LES can close at the right times. On the flip side, fight or flight mode, also known as the sympathetic nervous system, this is a challenging place for your body to optimally digest food. And when we're living in fight or flight, when we're living in chronic stress, our LES can't close properly. Research by Kuo and colleagues published in Neurogastroenterology and Motility in 2013 showed that when vagal tone decreased after meals, there was a higher level of transient LES relaxations, allowing reflux to happen. So If you are someone that notices your reflux gets worse with stress, this is not in your head. Your LES isn't broken, your nervous system is just pulling support away from it. And this is exactly the type of work that we do in the Reflux Relief Masterclass, supporting your body, working with your physiology, not just masking the symptoms. We go deep into LES support, nervous system regulation, vagus nerve support, personalized nutrition, and how to build a protocol that works for your body and your reflux root contributors. I'll drop the link down in the description of this video, and I'll also drop the link to a 7-day risk-free trial of the Flora app where you can explore reflux hypnotherapy, reflux meditations, recipes, and modules designed for specifically those with GERD and LPR. Okay, number 3 root cause of LES issues is gastric pressure. This is what's happening inside of your stomach that puts pressure on your LES. Every time you eat, your stomach expands, which is totally normal. This expansion creates pressure. And when this pressure exceeds a certain level, it impacts the ability of the LES to close after a meal. When your LES can't close, that is when acid can escape. A study by Strathoff and colleagues showed that this pressure is one of the biggest contributors to transient relaxations of the LES after meals. So this means for you, when you eat a really large meal or you eat way too fast, this puts too much pressure on your LES and contributes to that relaxation. One of the most helpful strategies that I personally use and I talk to my clients about all the time is the Hari Hachi Bu method. It's a Japanese method of 80% fullness at meals. So taking your time, slowing down, and noticing when you're starting to feel full is incredibly valuable for people trying to heal from reflux. If you can notice when you're starting to feel full and you wrap it up when you're 80% full, knowing that you can save it for later, that will help you prevent reflux. So try that at your next meal. So here is what I want you to take away from this. Your reflux isn't a simple question of, do I have too much or too little stomach acid? It's actually a barrier problem that can be influenced by a variety of factors, including your nervous system, your lifestyle habits, gastric pressure, even the way that you breathe. And when you finally understand this, you can stop chasing acid suppression or acid supplements, and you can focus on supporting the systems that will actually help you digest well and keep stomach contents where they belong. The shift from I have an acid problem to I have a barrier problem was the shift that catalyzed my healing. And it's this change that I see with the people that I work with every day, that when we start to work with your physiology, everything changes. You are not broken, your LES is not broken, it's just under supported. And that means there's a lot you can do about it. If you wanna go deeper and learn more about my personal journey with GERD, where I break down exactly how I healed my acid reflux, definitely check out this video here. And I go through everything I did to beat a decade of suffering from reflux. It's one of my most watched videos, and I think it'll be really helpful for you. I'll see you there.